Daily Strength for Daily Needs, selected by Mary Wilder Tileston, 1843 to 1934, era Vulgaris, Memorial Edition, with a foreword by William Lawrence, Bishop of Massachusetts. Boston, Little Brown and Company, 1942. Forward. For 50 years since its first publication, I've used Daily Strength for Daily Needs from time to time and have given away many copies to confirmation candidates and others. Now that Mrs. Tileston's hand is stayed, I count it a privilege as a token of gratitude to commend this memorial edition to the younger generation, knowing that however far they have traveled from the habits of life and the thought of their elders, they have still the same need for a call to courage, faith, and cheer. And we see that this was given to somebody in 1992. And some will say the difference between belief and faith is when those conclusions or convictions, or however you're going to translate that, have some basis other than that they've been passed on. Since this little book was published, empires have fallen, theologies have been rewritten, wars have been fought, and standards of life have changed. But men are still men. Their yearning in times of disaster for comfort is still keen, and the call for courage strong. In these days of great emotion and radical changes, we need the steady, persistent, and refreshing inspiration of spiritual thoughts which, entering the texture of our life in the morning, will guide and refresh us through the day or in the evening, give a sense of confidence and peace. The path of life in these days is often exhausting, barren of ideals, stripped of romance, and depressing to faith. Alongside of the path, if we would but stop for a moment, runs a stream of refreshing thought. Of each one of us, it may be said, as we turn a page of this little book, he shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head. If you have a friend who is discouraged, laden with heavy cares, or weak of body or faith, give him a copy of Daily Strength for Daily Needs, 2 minutes in the reading, 1 minute of thought or prayer, and his day will have a fresher note. The great inventors of the age are those who connect mighty physical resources with the needs of men. Mary W. Tileston, by her love of spiritual literature, her skill in selection, and her knowledge of the spiritual needs of men and women, has brought them into connection with eternal truth and spiritual resource. I wonder at the untold influence of a quiet, modest little woman whose skill has given new impulse to millions of men and women through this little book. William Lawrence, August 1934. And let me show you the index here of the poetical selections. And the index of authors. Of course, I'm saving a book like this for a leap year, because that makes
the most sense.